So, I'm gonna go into my divorce, all right? I was 24 at the time. At this point, I'd been married since I was 19 years old. And, I went to junior high with this girl, and then, after my best friend passing, it really was what forced me to feel like I had to grow up very quickly, right? So I, you know, pretty much rushed into a marriage, and then shortly afterwards had my daughter about little over a year after marriage, right? So I was 20 years old when I had my daughter, really, really young, right? Fast forward, my wife at the time had decided that she was going to move back to Chico to go to school, and I was originally going to get out of the Marine Corps in order to go into the California Highway Patrol, CHP. So I'd already done like the background or the physical test, written test, and everything, and I was ready to go into that as soon as I was coming up on my end of active duty service. So she had moved back, and unfortunately, I was just too young and immature and did not have my head on straight at all, and I got back into partying a lot. All right, a lot. I was freaking drinking every single, like almost every day. I'd go out during the week and fucking come back to work the next morning with zero sleep, and then try to make it through the whole day and end up having to like sleep under trucks at work and shit. I was a mess. I was still hitting the gym. I was still like, trying to build some confidence there, but all other aspects of my life, financially, emotionally, spiritually, they were all fucked up. They really were. So yeah, fast forward, that's when, I kept going out and drinking. I was unfaithful. I was reckless. I was stupid. I did not have my head on straight at all. And that actually, forced me to end up getting divorced, right? No surprise, I obviously wasn't ready to be married anymore, but what did my dumbass do? I freaking jumped right into another relationship, right? With one of the girls that I was unfaithful with, with my first marriage. And then I end up, long story short, marrying this girl, right? And was that a good relationship? Absolutely not. It was the most toxic shit ever. So yeah, my moral of this story is like, we all make mistakes in life, you know what I'm saying? And, I know that because of the shit that I went through when I was younger, not seeing what a healthy relationship was, and, it really did fuck me up. It really did. And I'm not here to use that as any kind of excuse or victim mindset or anything. It happened, and the fact that I can understand now why I was the way that I was, so I could start implementing those positive changes to have a better life and to be a better man for not only my kids, but for my current relationship and everybody else that's in my life as well. That's the most important thing, you know what I'm saying? So, I kept drinking. I drank all the time, and coped with alcohol because really I was ashamed of how I treated, my first marriage and how I ended it. And, it was just shameful. It was really embarrassing, and I felt like shit about myself. So what better way to cover it up than to just numb yourself with alcohol, right? But long-term solution, that's not gonna fucking work. It's gonna end really bad. Ended with me getting I got arrested in 2019. I'll mention more about that story next time. I have talked a little bit about it then. Part of my, toxic relationship that I was in. And then I got a 5150 in 2021. So I got 2 alcohol-related incidents while I was active duty still, right? And, I almost lost my entire career because of this, So the only thing that got me going in the right direction and got my head on straight and gave me a sense of hope and purpose was sobriety, right? Quit drinking entirely, make the amends in my life, like the people that I've harmed, talk to them and let them know how sorry I am, and make sure that I can do anything that I possibly can to make it right with those people, right? Including my ex-wife from my first marriage. That was a big one, and to my kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of example of a man was I being when I was coping with alcohol, when I was doing all this shit, right? And, the thing is if you're in that kind of position right now, right, you find that you're, using substances to escape your reality or whatever, and pretend that your problems don't exist, right? It's not going to end well. It's not going to. You're going to make some terrible mistakes that you're going to regret, right? And regret is your guideline. You must remember that, okay? So if you feel those feelings of regret today, you need to remember that it's just simply a notification from the universe telling you that something needs to change, okay? And at this point moving forward, I'm grateful that I have experienced all that adversity at this point now in order to come out, as a better man and learn some wisdom and move forward in the direction that I was meant to go. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this resonates with some people. There's a lot that goes into my story, and I'm going to get on here every week and talk about my story and talk about who I am. And because I know there's people out there that can benefit knowing that you're not alone, okay? And that you too can get out of any situation that you're in. You just have to realize that you're worth it and truly believe in yourself starting now.